Before the apocalypse hits, you are given 3 choices. What will you choose? Option 1. Infinite food, including all the booze and drinks you want. Option 2. A golden desert eagle, equipped with an unlimited magazine. Option 3. A can of hairspray that makes you look absurdly cool once applied. I already knew in advance that in exactly 5 hours, a freezing apocalypse would strike. The survival conditions for humanity would rapidly turn into a living hell. The zombie virus would break out, and all order and laws would just completely collapse. In a world like that, running out of food is the absolute biggest threat. So, I immediately went with option 1. Selection successful. The host has now unlocked infinite food. My heart was pounding like crazy. I muttered in my head, "Get me a Coke with light ice." And the very next second, an ice-cold Coke literally popped right into my hand. I was beyond hyped. It actually works. This is freaking awesome. The end of the world was coming, and the rules of survival were about to flip completely. I wouldn't have to suffer through this miserable life anymore. It was time for a brand new way of living. From today on, I am officially done eating beef. System, get me 10 beef skewers. I immediately started happily munching on the beef skewers. Just then, my girlfriend sent me a text message. I got into grad school. It's time we finally get some things straight. Let's break up. You should know by now. We belong to completely different worlds. You're just a bottom-tier wage slave making $4,000 a month. I have a bright and successful future ahead of me. I know this seems a bit cruel to you, since you've been paying for my living expenses all these years while I studied. But hey, I gave you years of my youth, so we're totally even. Don't ever contact me again. Goodbye. Staring at that cold, heartless text, the initial sting quickly faded, and I let out a dark chuckle. Fu shower. You are really going to regret this. Right on cue, the system chime rang again. To ensure the host's survival needs, this system will provide various daily sign-in rewards at exactly midnight. Options include weapons, gear, materials, energy, and physical enhancements. The host may choose one daily sign-in reward, including weapons, gear, materials, energy, and physical enhancements. Suddenly, I couldn't wait for the apocalypse to begin. In the old world, I was just a nobody. But this upcoming doomsday? It was my chance to completely flip the script. With that thought, I happily hopped on my e-bike and rode back to my apartment. While waiting for the elevator, a disgusted voice suddenly snapped at me. "Ew, wage slave, get away from me. You reek of cheap sweat." I glanced over, and saw my neighbor, Shen Wanyue, in her bank uniform. She was pinching her nose, glaring at me like I was absolute trash. Shen Wanyue was my next-door neighbor. I lived in room 301, while she and her new husband, Wang Sheng, lived in room 302. They had just gotten married a month ago. I remember catching a glimpse of her back then, standing there in her gorgeous white wedding dress. I won't lie, I was completely blown away. Whether it was her stunning face or her perfect figure, she was easily a solid 90 out of 100. She completely outclassed that shallow ex who just kicked me to the curb. There was just no comparison. She was the kind of woman that could drive any man crazy. But seeing her standing there now, a slow, mysterious smirk crept onto my face. Shen Wanyue frowned deeply, her face twisting in pure disgust. What are you staring at? Working all day is exhausting enough without having to look at you. Getting off work and still having to smell a lowlife like you. Just my rotten luck. Her husband, Wang Sheng, is a company executive. They both see themselves as society's elites. They completely look down on working-class guys like me. Just then, the elevator arrived. I stepped inside. Shen Wanyue clearly intended to wait for the next one. Right before the doors closed, I let out a cold laugh and said, "If you ever get hungry, make sure to come find me tonight." The elevator doors closed. Shen Wanyue flinched slightly, followed by a surge of pure rage. Who the hell does he think he is? Like I would ever go to him for a bite to eat? He must be crazy. I walked into my apartment. I started rummaging through my closet. Since the extreme cold apocalypse was about to hit, I needed to dig out my down jackets and heavy blankets first. Suddenly, there was a frantic, violent pounding on the door. Shen Wanyue was screaming from outside. "Hey, you dirty laborer, explain yourself. What the hell did you mean back there? Get out here. Do not just hide inside playing dumb. I know you are in there." Just then, Wang Sheng heard his wife's voice and opened their door to check. "What is wrong, Xiaoyue?" Why are you banging on that laborer's door? Honey, this lowlife actually hit on me. I am going to make sure he cannot live here anymore. Is this punk asking for a beating? Do not worry, Xiao Yue. I will definitely make him. Wang Sheng looked up in anger, only to meet my cold, furious glare. His anger instantly deflated. He looked pretty frail and weak, while I, having done hard labor for years, was built much tougher. If a fight actually broke out, the winner would be obvious. Wang Sheng quickly changed his tune. He forced a smile at me. Oh, you are back. You must be exhausted after working all day, huh? Get some rest. Why are you running away? Did you not see the way he just acted? Are you seriously scared of him? Honey, you have got it all wrong. I am not afraid. We are high-class elites with a perfectly happy family. A bottom feeder like him is obviously just jealous of us. We are the lucky ones. When we run into guys like him, it is always better to just take the high road and step back. Right? Meanwhile, I had already dragged out all my thick blankets and winter gear. I locked the doors and windows tight, calmly waiting for the end of the world to begin. That night, a sudden, icy breeze cut right through the sweltering heat. Massive snowflakes slowly began to fall from the sky, and then, the blizzard unleashed its full fury. In just 30 minutes, the temperature plummeted from 30 degrees down to 0, and it was still dropping fast. At the same time, my heart was racing with excitement. It had finally hit midnight. Today's check-in reward options are as follows. Option 1, 10,000 sets of thermal clothing made from a special material, capable of withstanding negative 100-degree temperatures. Option 2, a wireless battery pack, compatible with all electronics on the market. Option 3, a 1000 terabyte flash drive, loaded with every single movie and show out there, plus a bunch of absolutely addictive sunshine green grapes. I thought for a second and went with option 1. The temperature was just dropping way too fast. Staying warm was the absolute priority. Seriously though, is this system pulling my leg? How come the last option has been so high for 2 days in a row? After making my choice, with just a thought, a set of black thermal clothing appeared right in my hands. The fabric was actually quite unique. It had the cozy comfort of pure cotton, but also the incredible softness of cashmere. My eyes completely lit up the moment I put it on. This thermal wear didn't just keep the cold out, it actually generated its own heat. Even my exposed face, hands, and feet didn't feel cold anymore. Honestly, it felt just like a warm spring day. Now that my food and warmth were completely sorted out, I sat comfortably by the window, watching the heavy snow blanket the city in white. Suddenly, a terrifying scream echoed from downstairs. I quickly looked down, and what I saw scared the living hell out of me. Deep gashes suddenly burst open across a young man's face. Every single inch of his exposed skin was splitting wide open. People around him scrambled away in pure panic. Less than half a minute later, the man collapsed with his eyes completely wide open. He was just dead. The crowd scattered in absolute terror. But he wasn't the only one. Soon, many others noticed gashes tearing open on their own bodies. In an instant, the whole neighborhood plunged into utter chaos. I frowned, staring intensely at the people whose skin was splitting open. They had all been out playing in the snow, which meant the snow was toxic. It took less than 5 minutes of contact with the snow for the gashes to appear. And then, within half a minute, they just dropped dead. I just didn't know if this toxic snow was contagious or not. I couldn't help but suck in a sharp breath. This was insane. In just that brief moment, over 10 people had already collapsed down in the courtyard. I grabbed my phone to check the news. Hashtags about the toxic blizzard had already skyrocketed to the top trending spot. Our neighborhood group chat was a total mess too. Someone begged, "Does anyone have medicine? Please, save my kid. Is this the end of the world? It's terrifying out there. I'll pay top dollar for supplies." Another wrote, "This disaster is only temporary. I know we'll be rescued. Does anyone have bottled water and snacks? I swear I'll pay a fortune for them." But the smart ones had already figured it out. This was going to be a disaster that we wouldn't survive easily. It had only been snowing for an hour, but the snow was already half a meter deep. And it showed absolutely no sign of stopping. I double-checked my doors and windows, making absolutely sure no snow could drift inside, before finally going to sleep with peace of mind. I woke up right on time at 8 a.m. the next morning. I walked over to the window and looked out, unable to stop myself from gasping in absolute shock. The bodies from yesterday were completely buried under the snow. The snowbanks had already piled up past the first floor. The temperature had also plummeted to -30 degrees. The only good news was that the snow had stopped for now. Who knew when the next blizzard would hit? I did a quick check of the utilities in my apartment. Just as I expected, the water, electricity, and gas were completely cut off. The toxic snow was terrifying enough on its own, but now, without any power. In these freezing temperatures, people would have to rely entirely on their winter coats. But how many people could actually survive that? Honestly, I figured today would freeze out. A whole lot of people. As for me, I wasn't panicking in the slightest. I just sat in my room, eating a steaming hot pot and sipping on hot tea, while casually scrolling through the neighborhood group chat. After a full night of pure torture, a lot of the people in the chat had gone completely dead silent. I didn't know if the toxic snow got them, or what. There were only a tiny handful of desperate pleas for help left, but obviously, no one was stepping up. For the rest of the day, I didn't step a single foot outside. When 12 o'clock hit, the new rewards arrived. Today's check-in reward options are as follows. Option 1. A golden desert eagle, equipped with an infinite magazine. Option 2. Power level increased by 5. Option 3. A doomsday snowmobile. It glides perfectly on ice and snow, letting you travel anywhere without a hitch. Option 4. A can of soda that makes you burp infinitely when you drink it. Man, the fourth option is always so random. I really wanted that golden desert eagle, but in the end, I still went with option 2. Judging from this check-in, the rewards can actually cycle back around, so there's nothing to worry about. I'll just grab it the next time it pops up. As for this power enhancement, it sounds super sci-fi. The moment I made the choice, I felt a sudden, intense surge of power flowing through my whole body. I slammed my fist right into the solid wood dining table, and smashed a whole corner clean off. I was super satisfied. Power meant a total, all-around upgrade in attack, defense, and agility. Punching it like that didn't even hurt at all. For the next 3 days, I still didn't leave the house. The heavy snow outside kept starting and stopping, and it was already piling up right to my window. And finally, I managed to roll that golden desert eagle I was obsessing over. Plus, I scored the never miss a shot talent skill. For the third reward, I went with the constant temperature furnace. It's this lotus-shaped gadget, but it's only about the size of my palm. It doesn't need to be charged or fueled up. It comes packed with its own endless energy. If you put the furnace indoors, it keeps the temperature within a 3-meter radius. Locked right at 26 degrees. The only downside is that the heat can't pass through walls. But since I have 10,000 of them, I just set a few around the house and the whole place was perfectly warm. I was honestly a bit speechless. Doesn't this thing make my thermal clothes totally useless now? Still, having this meant I could actually take a hot shower at home. The infinite food and drink pack I chose on day 1 already included hot water. By now, my phone barely had a tiny sliver of battery left. I noticed in the homeowners group chat, user 1fire47 was already calling for everyone to head down to the underground garage to trade supplies. That was actually a pretty smart move. Even though the underground garage connected to the outside, the main entrances and exits were totally blocked by the heavy snow, but residents from every building could still head down through the emergency stairs. Staying cooped up at home all day, just eating and drinking, wasn't a real long-term plan. So, I decided to go down and take a look. By this time, the underground garage was completely packed with people. I did a quick mental count. The entire apartment complex had a total of 14 buildings, and over 2,700 people, but there were only about 600 folks down in the garage. Which meant that in just 5 days, we had already lost so many people in the complex. But thinking about it, maybe it wasn't that bad. The snow hit late at night, so most people weren't caught out in it. A lot of families probably just had plenty of food saved up, and didn't need to come out and trade supplies just yet. Trading a 30,000 milliamp power bank for bottled water, premium cigarettes for instant noodles, sausages for fever medicine. Most people were mainly trying to trade for food and water, though a few were desperate to get medicine for their sick family members. After all, the temperature had dropped way too fast, and a ton of people had caught nasty colds. Even though the bottled water was basically frozen solid, if you burned a pile of unfinished homework. You could still thaw it out. Right then, I spotted Wang Sheng and Shen Wanyue, that couple. Spread out right in front of them was a bunch of gold and silver jewelry. It looked like, just to stay alive, Shen Wanyue had already dug out her own dowry. But considering we are days into the apocalypse now, everyone knew that gold, silver, and cash were completely useless. In the old world, you couldn't survive without money. But in this new world, money is completely useless. Absolutely no one is paying them any attention. Shen Wanyue looked up and saw me smiling. She couldn't help but remember that day by the elevator. When I told her, if you ever get hungry, make sure to come find me tonight. Could he have known about the blizzard all along? I didn't go over to her. I just kept strolling around. Suddenly, I spotted a woman who was easily just as gorgeous as Shen Wanyue. My eyes lit up. She was all by herself, curled up in a corner, and laid out right in front of her were a bunch of designer bags and cosmetics. Just like Shen Wanyue and her husband, nobody was giving her a second glance. While I was observing her, I eavesdropped on the chatter around me, and managed to piece together a few useful bits of intel. First off, that weird blood toxin, it only spreads through direct skin contact. It's not airborne at all. Otherwise, who the hell would dare open a window for some fresh air? The second piece of good news was that someone, driven crazy by hunger, actually ran a crazy experiment. As long as you use an umbrella and don't touch the snow, you can walk around safely where it isn't too deep. The only real headache here is, the snow on the neighborhood roads is just way too deep. We are talking over 3 meters now. There is just no way anyone is wading through that to scavenge for supplies. Though, naturally, a lot of people were talking about grabbing whatever tools they had at home to mod their cars, to see if they could just bust their way out. Honestly, I think that is a load of crap. With snow this thick, even a heavy-duty excavator would struggle to move an inch, let alone some regular sedan. But it really just goes to show exactly how incredibly desperate people are getting for food. The third piece of news, though, that one actually had me sweating a bit. It turns out, the people who caught that blood toxin, their pupils have all gone completely white. Every single one of them froze to death in these totally grotesque, twisted poses. It is seriously nightmare fuel. Are these guys all going to turn into, later on? The more I think about it, the more likely it seems. The second the weather starts warming up and those bodies thaw out, there is a massive chance they are coming back to life. Looks like from now on, whenever I get a chance to level up my strength, I just need to take it, no questions asked. The stronger I get, the better my chances of actually surviving this mess. Right at that moment, that woman from earlier, Lin Shui, walked up to me. Hey, handsome, I dropped tens of thousands on these designer bags. Could I maybe trade them for a little bit of food? HMPH, this junk is useless to me. Got anything I can actually use? Lin Shui's face immediately dropped. Deep down, she already knew. At a time like this, designer bags and luxury crap mean absolutely nothing. Everyone is bundled up in a million layers, starving to death. Who the hell cares about accessorizing with a fancy bag right now? Living all by herself, without a guy to rely on. In this brutal reality, the only thing she really had left of any value was her own body. But she wasn't ready to just give herself up that easily. Handsome, what about this, then? Lin Shui hesitated for a second, then pulled a black plastic bag out of her pocket. I grabbed the bag and took a peek. I was instantly left speechless. It was literally just stuffed full of women's socks. Thigh-highs, knee-highs. You name it, she had it. She was calling me handsome, but clearly, she just saw me as some desperate loser. Lin Shui lowered her voice. Hey handsome, these are my unwashed, worn clothes, Get lost. I tossed the plastic bag right back at her. Honestly, I really wanted to take a massive, deep sniff. But I was playing the long game to catch a bigger fish. So, I pulled a piece of bread out of my pocket, held it right in front of her, and said, if you want food, come to my place. We're all adults here. You should know exactly what I mean. With that, I gave her a meaningful look, then turned around and walked away from her. Lin Shui frowned, clearly wavering. If this were before the apocalypse, I wouldn't even give a guy like him a second glance. I can't believe the end of the world is actually forcing me to go to him. She was absolutely furious, but what choice did she have? The guy had food. Meanwhile, I kept strolling around, hunting for my next prey. I hadn't even been walking for 2 minutes when suddenly, 3 huge guys burst out of the emergency stairwell of Building 7. They were all gripping meat cleavers. The leader, Sang Biao, had a fierce, scarred face. You could just tell he was absolutely ruthless. "Strip them clean, boys," he roared, charging headfirst toward the nearest stall. The stall owner was an old lady in her 70s. She had a single can of senior milk powder on display, which Sang Biao violently snatched away. "Help, we're being robbed." The old woman desperately grabbed onto Sang Biao's arm, trying to wrestle her milk powder back. That was her only hope for trading for actual food. A cold, murderous glint flashed in Sang Biao's eyes. He raised his cleaver and viciously hacked it down. The old lady slumped to the ground, completely lifeless. I don't know who screamed, but in a split second, total panic broke out, and everyone started running for their lives. But I didn't panic at all. After all, I get to claim a daily sign in reward, and just 2 days ago, I chose the physical enhancement. These 3 punks were absolutely no match for me, but I wasn't about to just stick my nose into other people's business either. Perfect timing. I just blended into the frantic crowd and slowly made my way toward Building 5. After surviving all these days, social order was finally starting to completely collapse. When it comes to staying alive, any sense of human decency just completely vanishes into thin air. And this robbery today, this was just the beginning of the real chaos. "What the hell are you staring at? Grab everything and move." Fired up by Sang Biao's viciousness, his 2 lackeys also started a violent killing spree. Seeing this absolute bloodbath, Lin Shui desperately sprinted toward her home. She didn't even have time to grab her designer bags off the ground, completely oblivious to the fact that she dropped her ID card. Wang Sheng was dragging Shen Wanyue as they ran for their lives. But with the entire crowd stampeding, the pampered couple was quickly knocked to the ground. "Honey, hubby," Shen Wanyue was absolutely terrified, her legs like jelly, making it impossible for her to get back up. "Babe, hurry, get up." Wang Sheng desperately tried to pull her to her feet, but he was starving too and simply didn't have the strength. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Sang Biao charging right at them with his bloody cleaver. Panicking, Wang Sheng blurted out, "Babe, just wait here for me. I'm gonna go get some help." With that, he let go of her hand and bolted without ever looking back. Shen Wanyue was absolutely stunned. She never in her wildest dreams imagined that her newlywed husband would just abandon her to die. Seeing the killer closing in, she instantly burst into terrified tears. Seeing the perfect opportunity, I stepped in and pulled her up. She was my prey, after all. I wasn't about to let her go to waste like that. Feeling my strong, powerful arms around her, Shen Wanyue finally realized that I was the one who saved her. Her heart swelled with overwhelming gratitude. Meanwhile, on the other side, Sang Biao launched into a completely blind, indiscriminate slaughter, not stopping until every last person in the underground garage had fled. The 3 of them finally stopped. The 2 goons quickly scavenged the underground garage. After a quick sweep, they scored quite a bit of food. Their plan was dead simple. Just head down and grab whatever they could. Everyone else would definitely be scared out of their minds and run away. They wouldn't have time to pack up their stalls, leaving it all for the taking. That's human apathy for you. Everyone was too scared of getting hurt. No one dared to step up, letting just 3 guys scare off hundreds of people. Sang Biao did a quick mental math. The food they snatched up this time would be enough to feed the 3 of them for a few days. But pulling this off again wouldn't be so easy. People would definitely be terrified, locking their doors tight and refusing to come out. If they wanted more food, they'd have to start breaking down doors. Just then, another goon suddenly ran over holding an ID card. "Boss, I found something good." What a gorgeous woman, and this is just an ID photo. Everyone knows women who rely on beauty filters and makeup always show their true colors in ID photos. But this woman on the card, Lin Shui? She was an absolute knockout. The only bummer was not knowing which building or apartment she lived in. "Boss, if we catch her, mind letting me have a go?" "Ha ha ha, relax. You know I always treat my boys right. But no rush, let's haul this grub back first." After dragging Shen Wanyue away, I barricaded the fire escape doors. Before heading back up to the 3rd floor of Building 5, it wasn't until she saw her own front door that Shen Wanyue finally found the strength to stand on her own. She immediately broke free from my grip, furiously pounding on her door. Wang Sheng, open this damn door, you spineless coward. How dare you leave your own wife behind and run home like a little bitch? She was screaming like a maniac. Chuckling to myself, I unlocked my own apartment door and leaned against the frame to enjoy the show. Wang Sheng, who had been cowering inside, heard his wife's voice and shakily peeked through the peephole. Seeing it was just me and his wife out there, he finally scraped together enough courage to open the door. Wan Yue, thank God you're okay. Hurry, come inside, before those thugs come back. Wang Sheng. Are you even a man? What happened to all those promises you made before we got married? The second there's danger, you ditch me and run for your life. I must have been blind to marry you. Seeing me standing there watching the drama, Wang Sheng's face flushed with embarrassment. Look, Wan Yue, it's not that I was scared. I was going to find help. It's just, no one was willing to help me out. I had no other choice. I ran back to grab a weapon so I could go save you. You have to believe me, Wan Yue. Then why the hell did you lock the door? Wang Sheng was completely speechless. Shen Wan Yue broke down, sobbing, we've run out of all our food and water at home. And now I've even lost my gold bracelet. What are we supposed to do? I'm still young, I don't want to starve to death stuck with a loser like you. Saying that, she burst into uncontrollable tears. Shen Wan Yue was at her absolute breaking point, and Wang Sheng was just as hopeless. So much for him boasting about being a high society elite making hundreds of thousands a year. Facing this situation, they had absolutely no options left. Suddenly, Wang Sheng turned his gaze toward me. I, who was just enjoying the drama, finally noticed something was up. This kid looks really healthy. His face is glowing. He doesn't look like he's been starving at all. Wang Sheng probed tentatively. Hey, bro. Do you have any food at your place? I do, and a lot of it, too. That's fantastic. Could you share some food with us? Hell no. I pulled a can of cola right out of my pocket. After popping it open, I took a big gulp, letting out a loud, satisfying burp. Drinking ice-cold cola in the winter is actually pretty awesome. Wang Sheng and his wife were so furious their eyes almost popped out of their heads. Looking at them, I chuckled inwardly. Before the apocalypse, you acted like I didn't exist. Now, I'm way out of your league. Wang Sheng plastered on a flattering smile. Come on, we're neighbors. You know what they say, a good neighbor is better than a distant brother. As long as you're willing to share a little bit with us. Once this disaster blows over, how about I set you up with a job at my company? I'll pay you 6,000 a month. No, an 8,000 salary. Hearing this, I laughed. This idiot still hasn't grasped reality. I pulled out a piece of crispy fried chicken and took a bite. Man, nothing beats pairing it with fried chicken. Stunned, Wang Sheng and his wife just stared blankly, their eyes glued to the chicken in my hand. Shen Wan Yue begged, look, how about this? We are completely willing to pay for it. Times have changed, you two still haven't figured it out. Then what do you want? What will it take for you to share some food with us? I narrowed my eyes. With a faint smirk, I looked right at Shen Wan Yue. Tell you what, my place has been a total mess lately. I'm missing a woman to help me clean up. I can hire you, sister-in-law, to be my personal maid. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. You'll come over to my place just to take care of my meals and chores. As for the salary, I'll cover your 3 meals a day. And I'll even let you take home 1 piece of bread and 1 bottle of mineral water every day. How about it? Shen Wan Yue instantly turned red in the face, completely furious. You are crossing the line. Why on earth should I clean your house? I am a high-class professional, and you're just a delivery boy, making me act as your. Are you kidding me? No way, that's definitely not happening. Look, how about this? My wife and I will both help you clean the house. We will make it completely spotless. I don't welcome other men in my house. If you guys aren't happy with the deal, then forget it. With that, I slammed the door shut. Whatever, I've got plenty of food and drinks. Plus, I'm not freezing. I have all the time in the world to play this little game. Later that night, purely on a whim, I decided to make a hot pot. Beef, lamb, crawfish, you name it. I had an absolute feast. Meanwhile, inside room 302, Wang Sheng and his wife fell dead silent. By now, every single drop of food and water in their house was completely wiped out. They were so starving they couldn't even sleep. Weird. Why do I smell hot pot? Am I hallucinating? The two looked at each other in disbelief. They were already starving to the bone. And now, tortured by the mouth-watering smell of hot pot, the hunger hit even harder. Wang Sheng quietly cracked their door open. Once they finally confirmed the delicious smell was coming from my place, their minds immediately started racing. Honey, how about you go work for him? Wang Sheng, do you even hear what you're saying? Just this morning, you abandoned me to run for your own life. And now, tonight, you actually have the nerve to ask me to go work alone in another man's house? Now, don't get worked up. Xiao Yue, you'll just be helping him clean up the place, that's all. If he dares to try anything funny, just scream as loud as you can. The second I hear you, I swear I'll rush right in and save you. Shen Wanyue completely lost the energy to argue. The freezing chill in her heart was far worse than the biting cold on her skin. Thinking back to how things used to be, her husband had a highly respectable social status. He was gentle, refined, and always perfectly polite. He was incredibly sweet to her, truly the picture-perfect husband in the eyes of all their friends and family. But when absolute disaster struck, only then did she completely see Wang Sheng's true colors. He was a spineless coward, cold, heartless, and completely selfish. Just for a single bite of food, he was actually willing to sell out his own wife. And the worst part? He still tried to hide behind the sickeningly hypocritical mask. Seeing the absolute disgust on his wife's face, Wang Sheng frantically tried to explain. Xiao Yue, I'm really not lying to you. You have to believe me. Do you remember the happy person's compromise rule I told you about? We are the lucky ones. As long as we just compromise a little bit, everything will be fine, so that means you can just hand over your own wife? That's just a pathetic excuse for your cowardice. If you actually had any guts, you would have just gone out and fought for food. Then we wouldn't be starving like this. No, that's not it. Why won't you just listen to reason? I just meant. Fine, I'll go serve him. Wang Sheng reached out, as if to pull his wife back, but quickly stopped himself. Seeing that her husband wasn't even going to try and stop her, Shen Wanyu's heart completely died. Meanwhile, inside my house, I was stuffing my face with thick cuts of meat and enjoying an ice-cold beer. Hearing a knock at the door, I walked over and peeked through the peephole. It was Shen Wanyue. A mysterious little smirk flashed across my face. I opened the door. I'll be your. Shen Wanyue got straight to the point, but the moment the rich, spicy aroma of the hot pot hit her face, her completely dead heart slowly began to beat again. Maybe staying with this man wouldn't be such a bad choice after all. At the very least, she could survive. I looked at her, feeling a bit puzzled. In this freezing apocalyptic wasteland, why on earth is she wearing so little? Aren't you freezing? I looked up and down at Shen Wanyue, then glanced back at Wang Sheng, who was standing there looking completely torn. I casually tossed him a loaf of bread and a bottle of water. Wang Sheng caught them with wild ecstasy. Without a second thought, he ripped open the packaging and started wolfing it down like a starving animal. Come on in, sister-in-law. Shen Wanyue stared blankly at the steaming hot pot bubbling in the living room. Unable to resist for a second longer, she stepped inside. Don't worry, Xiao Yue, just scream if you need anything. Bam, the heavy door slammed shut right in his face, cutting Wang Sheng's pathetic words off instantly. The moment she stepped inside, Shen Wanyue was absolutely stunned. It felt like she had instantly teleported from the freezing North Pole straight to a warm tropical beach. But, the power has been out for days, she thought. I haven't eaten a single thing in 2 whole days. Please, could you just let me have a little bite first? I just let out a cold, indifferent smirk. Have you forgotten your place already? Call me master. Shen Wanyue was so furiously insulted, she was just about to snap. But the sharp pang of hunger struck her stomach again, thinking about how her husband took the bread, and wouldn't even spare a single crumb for her. Her eyes welled up with tears once more. She used to be part of the social elite, but now? She had to call a bottom feeder of society, master. But what choice did she have? Master. I nodded, pulled out a piece of paper, and tossed it over. These are the maid rules. Make sure you follow them to the letter. Shen Wanyue picked it up, confused. Her beautiful eyes instantly widened in shock. Maid rules. Rule 1. The maid must wear a custom-made maid outfit at home. Any violation means no food for a day. Rule 2. The master's word is absolute law. Any talking back will result in immediate termination. Rule 3. When you see the master return, you must bow and greet him. Any violation means no food for a day. This is way too much. You can't just humiliate someone like this. I'm going back. I stared at her coldly and pulled out my golden desert eagle, pointing the heavy barrel right at her back. If she refuses to listen, keeping her in my home will eventually become a threat. So, there's no need to keep her around. But just as Shen Wanyue reached the door and was about to turn the handle, her hand froze, because the moment she stepped out of the heater's range, that bone-piercing cold violently struck her again. Shen Wanyue caved. She didn't want to go back to that freezing hellhole. She didn't want to face that useless husband ever again. She didn't want to starve anymore. Shen Wanyue finally convinced herself, dropping straight to her knees. Master, I was wrong. Since you've decided to stay, then follow the rules properly. Considering this is your first offense, I'll let it slide this once. Just you wait, you little brat. Don't let me catch an opening, or I'll show you what ruthless really means. An hour later, I was completely full and satisfied. Looking at the gorgeous woman right in front of me, I tried hard to suppress my urges. There will be plenty of chances for that later. No need to rush. Then, I ran some hot water in the bathroom and told Shen Wanyue to go wash up. I went back to the living room, sighing that this was finally a life worth living. As expected of the most beautiful woman in Building 5, the feeling Shen Wanyue gave me could be summed up in one word. Lush. She was absolutely nothing like that stuck-up, disgusted, arrogant snob who used to kick me aside. Shen Wanyue thought back to what had just happened. She couldn't help but want to cry again, but she still sneaked over to the dining table and finished off all my leftover hot pot, finally feeling that long-lost sense of being full. The resistance in Shen Wanyu's heart mostly vanished into thin air. Strictly following the maid rules, she started tidying up the house. Once everything was completely spotless, she curled up on the sofa and fell asleep. She had figured it out. There was food here, and it was warm. This was practically heaven on earth. As for dignity and all that crap, it meant absolutely nothing in the face of survival. Staying alive was all that mattered. The only thing that really puzzled her was, she had no idea where the food was hidden. The kitchen and fridge were completely empty. Could it be in the bedroom? But she absolutely didn't dare set foot inside my bedroom. It's way too comfortable in here. There's zero need to risk my neck out there. The clock struck midnight, and the daily rewards rolled in again. Today's check-in options were as follows. Option 1, a nuclear-powered generator for unlimited energy. Option 2, the combat maid feature unlocked. Option 3, 1000 high explosive grenades. Option 4, a pair of socks that will never, ever stink. Man, I'd absolutely love those high explosive grenades, but given the current situation, a handgun is more than enough. Tossing grenades around right now would just be massive overkill. Completely pointless. I'll just grab them the next time they pop up in the system. But, combat maid? What the hell is that? Driven by pure curiosity, I went ahead and picked option 2. The moment I made my choice, a brand new tab popped up on the system interface. I clicked it, and there it was, Shen Wanyu's profile staring right back at me. Subject 1, Shen Wanyue. System rating, 82. Current power level, 1. Equipped outfit, none. I rubbed my chin, lost in deep thought. Everything else made perfect sense, but what on earth was this maid outfit? It definitely wasn't something you could just sew yourself. It had to be a system item. The way she levels up is pretty damn interesting though. Basically, spamming a certain prince's dragon strike skill grinds out experience points. Once she gets enough experience, she levels up. Her level cap is exactly half of mine as the host. Which means, right now, with enough hard work, I can grind Shen Wanyue up to level 3, tops. That plus 5 level boost I got from the system has already supercharged my physique across the board. And I mean supercharged in every single way. Oh yeah, so when it comes to leveling up Shen Wanyue, I've got that fully under control. Meanwhile, Wang Sheng spent the entire night tossing and turning, completely unable to sleep. He was seething with rage but didn't dare make a sound. After all, he was the one who offered his own wife up. At 8 in the morning, sporting massive dark circles under his eyes, Wang Sheng couldn't hold back anymore and knocked on my door. I opened it, flashing him a wicked smirk. I just wanted to check on you. She spent the whole night in here. Shouldn't she be coming back now? Wang Sheng stammered, suddenly catching sight of his wife in the living room, wearing a French maid outfit. A toxic wave of jealousy and boiling rage almost tipped him over the edge, but he still swallowed it down. I slapped my forehead. Oh, man, look at me, I totally forgot about that. Your wife is absolutely incredible. She cleaned my place up spotless. I'm extremely satisfied, I smirked, turning my head back to look at Shen Wanyue. You worked so hard all night long, babe. You must be exhausted. Go on back and get some rest. But I haven't finished scrubbing the kitchen and the bathroom yet. She replied, I'm not going back today, hubby. It's freezing out there, so you should hurry on home. I smiled, thoroughly satisfied with her little response. Wang Sheng looked like he was about to blow a gasket. He glared at his wife, his eyes practically shooting daggers. He wanted nothing more than to explode. Wang Sheng was losing his damn mind. Staring fiercely at his wife, he wanted nothing more than to just snap. But right in that next second, I casually tossed a loaf of bread and a bottle of water out the door. Here's your ration for today. Instantly, more than half of the burning rage in his chest was completely snuffed out. Thank you so much. Since she's not done cleaning, then you can just keep working. I won't bother you two anymore. See that? Your husband didn't come over here for you at all. He only wanted the food. Shen Wanyue felt a bit heartbroken, but not as bad as she had imagined. It seemed she was slowly getting used to staying here with me. Wang Sheng returned home, his eyes incredibly vicious. Shen Wanyu's appearance just now clearly showed she had been completely won over, which made him absolutely furious. I bet you've wanted to go over there for a long time. No, I have to figure something out. I need to get my hands on all of his food. In the emergency stairwell of Building 5, quite a few survivors from the building had gathered. Wang Sheng felt a chill in his heart looking at the crowd, because in this entire building, the total number of living people was actually less than 100. The rest had basically all frozen or starved to death, or been poisoned. Listen up, everyone, the situation is critical right now. I think we all need to stick together. Yesterday, our whole neighborhood went down to the underground garage for a trading fair, only to get robbed by Liang Meng. Because of that, nobody even dares to go down there anymore. Our days are only going to get harder. So, my suggestion is, those of his families still alive should form an alliance. Share our resources, share the benefits, and face this crisis together. Stop spouting empty words. Everyone is starving here. How are we supposed to share resources with you? I think the first thing we need to do right now is have every family send out one strong, young man to form a guard squad. Starting from apartment 101 on the first floor, we knock on doors, family by family, to look for supplies. Any supplies in homes with no living people, we take them all. Liang Meng already dared to kill people, so we can't just sit around waiting to die either. After all, just relying on the garage's security doors won't keep them out. Therefore, our supply gathering team must move as a collective group. Even if we run into Liang Meng, we don't need to be afraid. There are only 3 of them. Are our dozen or so guys really going to be scared of him? As soon as these words came out, the crowd began nodding in agreement. Everyone had been terrified by Liang Meng killing someone yesterday, but they forgot that the other side actually only had 3 people. As long as they teamed up, there was nothing to fear at all. Then how do we divide the supplies we find? Anyone who joins the guard squad gets an equal share of the supplies. What if a family doesn't have any strong young men? It's just me and my daughter at home. My husband was probably poisoned to death out there a long time ago. Yeah, I don't think your distribution method works either. My husband and I are both over 60 years old. We're so frail we don't even dare to move around. So what are we supposed to do? It would be best if the supplies you guys grab were shared, giving every family a little bit. Elderly people should get priority. A vicious glint flashed in Wang Sheng's eyes. Stupid old hag, you still want free meals? But before he could finish speaking, a middle-aged man got upset. Like hell I care if you live or die. We do exactly what Wang Sheng said. Whoever puts in the work gets the food. Anyone who wants to stay alive had better just be obedient. If you perform well, maybe I'll toss a little your way. But for those who don't want to contribute anything, then you can face the consequences yourselves." Wang Sheng couldn't help but mentally applaud him. However, as soon as those words were spoken, everyone burst into chaos. The accusations kept coming. The middle-aged man's face darkened. Suddenly, he grabbed the head of the middle-aged woman who was screaming the loudest. Smash, smash, he slammed her head into the wall, over and over again. Blood splattered everywhere. The brutal stress of surviving these past few days finally erupted at this very moment. The man's face twisted into absolute madness. He literally beat the woman to death right then and there. The horrifying sight left everyone completely paralyzed. A dozen men exchanged glances, as if some invisible chain had just snapped. Pandora's box was blown wide open. "Boys, tie all these people up. Keep the useful ones. Throw out anyone who doesn't listen. Get them out of my sight." Wang Sheng was scared out of his mind. How did things turn out like this? In his original plan, once the security team was formed, he could use them to threaten me, force me to hand over the food, and save his wife in the process. He severely underestimated the sheer evil of human nature. With his cowardly, rat-like personality, all he could do now was scurry away, stumbling and tripping all the way back to his apartment. "Ah! Master, it sounds like they're fighting outside. What's happening?" "I couldn't care less. Who cares? Just focus on what you're supposed to do. As for everything else, you don't need to worry about it." Building 5's massive purge had begun, but it was far from an isolated case. Liang Meng had practically set a prime example for all the men in the Jiayuan residential complex. In the other buildings, the men were already starting to band together. They were going door to door searching for food. It was pure chaos. Meanwhile, over in Building 3, Room 403, Lin Shui lived all by herself. She was a female, live streamer. She loved snacking, so she had hoarded quite a stash of junk food. Because of that, she managed to hold out much longer than the others. But now, Lin Shui's doomsday was approaching. Building 3 also had a squad of over 20 men forming a gang. They were prying open doors one by one. The outcome went without saying. Peeking through her peephole, Lin Shui watched as the door to room 401 was forced open. The horrifying screams from next door left her trembling in fear. Lin Shui knew she was much prettier than the woman living there. If those men found her, her fate would be unimaginably worse. Suddenly, Lin Shui remembered the man she bumped into at the underground garage yesterday. He said he lived in Building 5, Room 301. She had to find a way to ask him for help. Seeing the chaotic mess outside, she knew they'd be banging on her door any second now. She sprinted to the balcony. Thank God it wasn't snowing today. She carefully swept the accumulated snow off the glass and immediately pushed the window open. Sticking her head out, she realized her Building 3 wasn't that far from Building 5. There was only a gap of about 20 meters between them, and through the window, she could actually see my balcony. Without a second thought, she started hurling all her bottles and jars outside, hoping to hit my window and get my attention. But as a weak girl, her aim was absolutely terrible. She missed over and over again, her panic growing with every failed throw. Finally, a bottle of skincare lotion struck the glass dead center. The glass didn't break, but it made a massive thud. I was right in the middle of teaching Shen Wanyue her maid duties. When I noticed the noise, and walked out onto the balcony, I frowned and looked outside, only to see Ling Shui waving at me. "Please, come save me. They're about to break in." Huh? Is that a woman's voice? A man in room 401 stood up in confusion. Meanwhile, on the sofa, a muscular man sat smoking a cigarette. His sharp eyes narrowed as he turned to look out the door. Sounds like it's coming from this floor. The man's name was Zheng Daijin. He was pretty much the boss of Building 3. "Boss." The voice came from room 403. "There's still a woman in there?" Zheng Daijin waved his hand. He led his men to room 403. Soon after, the sound of a door being pried open echoed out. Lin Shui grew even more terrified, and immediately cried out to me for help. "They're coming. Please, I'm begging you, save me." I, on the other hand, wasn't in a hurry at all. Crossing my arms, I chuckled and said, "Save you? Do you have any idea what it's gonna cost you?" Lin Shui was speechless, her eyes welling up with red tears. As long as you can save me, I'll be your girlfriend. However, I slowly shook my head. I don't need a girlfriend. Lin Shui was completely stunned. But the next moment, Shen Wanyue, wearing a custom-made maid outfit, slowly crawled over to my feet. This scene left Lin Shui absolutely dumbfounded. Staring at Shen Wanyue's outfit, Lin Shui was shocked beyond belief. Is he Superman or something? Isn't she freezing? I smiled playfully, and gently stroked Shen Wanyue's beautiful hair, then looked back at Lin Shui. I can save you, but the price is you ending up exactly like her. Suddenly, the door was pried open. Zheng Dejin and his men quickly swarmed inside. They immediately spotted Ling Shui crying for help on the balcony, along with various posters and photos of her plastered all over the room. Seeing that flawless face and perfect figure, had all the men fired up. You, stay away from me. Don't come any closer. Don't worry, babe, I'll make sure the boys treat you right. I'll do it, I'm willing. I'll do whatever you want. I'll even be a maid just like her. If I submit to this man, at least it'll only be him. But if these guys in the building catch me, who knows how many men will take turns? Zheng Dejin looked confused and quickly stepped towards Lin Shui. Who the hell are you asking for help? But before his massive hand could grab her, he looked up in absolute terror, and saw that in the building across the way, a young man had actually climbed up onto the windowsill, crouching down like he was gathering power. The very next second, with a massive boom, I explosively launched myself forward, soaring right across the empty gap between the two buildings, and heading straight for the balcony of room 403. Zheng Dejin was stunned. What followed was a massive size 44 shoe, flying straight at him with zero hesitation. It kicked him dead in the face. The brutal force sent him violently flying backward on the spot, crashing right into his gang of thugs. I landed safely on my feet, but even I was a little surprised on the inside. Damn, is a level 6 strength really this powerful? Just a moment ago, I had this sudden rush of intuition, feeling completely sure that I could make the jump. And then I actually cleared it. Man, the system is totally overpowered. That was a gap of over 20 meters. I'm practically a freaking flying superhero now. Hey, Lin Shui's brain was practically short-circuiting. She just stared blankly at me as I landed right in front of her. How the hell did he get over here? Zheng Dejin struggled to his feet. He glared at me with a mix of fear and shock. But then he remembered he had over 20 guys backing him up, all armed with blades. His confidence quickly came rushing back. Playing the hero to save the damsel in distress, huh, kid? Take a good look at how many of us there are. Boys, gut him. At his command, the gang of men all whipped out their kitchen knives, fruit knives, and whatever else they had, getting ready to rush me. Bring it on, I smirked. I was just itching to test out exactly how strong my new destructive power is anyway. I licked my lips with a grin, deciding not to even bother pulling my gun. I just clenched my fist and threw a massive punch right at the closest guy. The force behind it was absolutely insane. It completely shattered his skull on impact, popping it like a smashed watermelon. That gruesome sight scared the living daylights out of everyone. The whole mob slammed on the brakes right where they stood. They stared at me in absolute terror. Zheng Dejin's jaw practically hit the floor. Is this guy a freaking superhero? What kind of monster strength is that? Feeling the splatter of warm blood hit her face, Lin Shui's eyes rolled back, and she passed out cold. I stared at my own fist, pretty shocked myself. Then, I casually picked up the dead guy's meat cleaver, and shot them an icy glare. Alright, you special delivery boys. Time to send you all straight to hell. Right then, my voice must have sounded like the dark whispers of a demon. Someone in the crowd let out a terrified scream, and this supposedly tough, newly formed gang instantly broke into pure panic, everyone scrambling and shoving frantically towards the door. Zheng Dejin bolted the fastest, but with over 20 guys trying to squeeze through one tiny doorway. There was no way they were getting out that easy. It was absolute chaos. I didn't care about their little traffic jam. I gripped the cleaver and went on a total rampage. Every single swing sent arms and legs flying everywhere. In no time at all, Lin Shui's apartment turned into a living hell. Only about half of them actually managed to escape out alive. I stepped out of room 403. Seeing that the hallway was completely empty now, I finally tossed the chipped and ruined cleaver aside. Over at room 401, the door was wide open. A dying woman was struggling, dragging herself to the doorway. She weakly begged me for help. I glanced over at her. She was actually pretty good looking. Probably in her 30s or 40s. If we weren't in the middle of the apocalypse, she'd definitely still have her charm. But sadly, she was already a goner. This last burst of energy was just terminal lucidity. Please, save my daughter. The woman looked up at me. Her eyes were pleading, filled with a desperate sliver of hope. Not interested, I replied flatly, turning around to leave. The light in her eyes faded out. Her head gave way, slamming heavily against the floor. As the last bit of life drained out of her, she managed to choke out a few words that stopped me dead in my tracks. Zhang Cheng. But before she could finish her sentence, she let out her final breath and died right there. Zhang Cheng University of Science and Technology. I narrowed my eyes slightly. Now she had my attention. Because my ex-girlfriend, Zhao Yufei, went to that exact same school. I stared down at the woman's lifeless body and let out a heavy sigh. Stepping into her apartment, I saw her husband already lying dead in a massive pool of blood. His eyes were staring wide open in a grim, dead stare. It didn't take long. Before I found a family portrait of the three of them, my eyes immediately lit up. Because her daughter was incredibly gorgeous, radiating this pure, vibrant, youthful energy. She even has cute little dimples when she smiles. I bet she's at least campus queen material. Her rating is probably even higher than Shen Wanyu's. She'd make a perfect little maid. A very suitable candidate, and I already know the girl's name, too. Chen Yunxi, 19 years old, a sophomore majoring in media at Zhangcheng University of Science and Technology. Good. Once I'm strong enough to head out, I'm definitely paying Zhangcheng University a visit. Let's just hope she doesn't drop dead before then. Oh, and Zhao Yufei. You'd better stay alive, too. I tucked Chen Yunxi's photo away. I headed back to room 403 and slapped Lin Shui awake. Lin Shui groggily opened her eyes. The first thing she saw was me, completely drenched in blood. And her apartment, which now looked like an absolute hell on earth. I slapped her right across the face. Shut up, what the hell are you screaming for? You're giving me a headache. Lin Shui finally snapped back to reality, staring at me in absolute terror. She was trembling from head to toe. Let's go, you're coming back with me. I stood up and walked out. Lin Shui looked at the room full of dead bodies. Feeling completely sick to her stomach, her legs turning to absolute jelly. But I was already out the door. Panicking, she scrambled out after me on her hands and knees. There was no way she could stay here anymore. She knew she had to stick right by my side. This time, I didn't try to look badass by jumping out the window. I just took the stairs like a normal person. I planned to head back through the underground parking garage. Once Lin Shui made it out, she caught sight of the woman's body from room 401. A wave of sorrow washed over her. The apocalypse was here. For women, there were only two ways this ends. Either you cling to a powerful man, or you get completely ruined by a pack of them. There was absolutely no other option. So-called dignity, purity, and morals mean absolutely nothing in the face of raw power. Thinking about this, Lin Shui suddenly felt incredibly lucky to be with me. Otherwise, her fate would be even worse than that woman's. In that split second, she accepted her new reality. Her legs finally found their strength again. And she hurried to catch up with me. Just as the two of us reached the underground garage, we heard voices. These folks are actually getting pretty smart, huh? Every single building actually formed their own team. Thanks to that, we didn't manage to loot a single damn unit. Liang Meng rubbed a massive bruise on his head, looking completely pissed off. He had just taken two of his boys to raid another building, only to get ambushed by a dozen angry guys. They barely made it out alive. He completely underestimated the situation. He didn't realize that it was his own murderous looting spree. That forced everyone else into panic mode, leading to this exact mess. Zhang Peng's arm had been completely dislocated. Gritting his teeth in agony, he asked, "Boss, what the hell do we do now? How the hell should I know?" Liang Meng was totally out of ideas. Even his own turf, Building 7, was starting to band together. His crew was about to become public enemy number 1. Zhang Peng opened his mouth to complain again, but suddenly heard footsteps. He quickly whipped his head around. "Who's there?" Naturally, I spotted them too. I casually replied, "Just passing through." Lin Shui instantly recognized them and scrambled to hide behind my back. Terrified of being noticed. Passing through? Who in this entire complex hasn't heard of my crew by now? You've got some serious guts, kid. Meanwhile, Zhang Peng caught a glimpse of the woman hiding behind me, and his eyes suddenly lit up with pure greed. Boss, this is the girl from the ID. That's her. Ha ha ha, no way. Now that's what I call fate for us boys. We've been scrounging around all day. Who knew we'd stumble upon such a gorgeous babe here? Ha ha ha, looks like our luck ain't so bad after all. Saying that, the three of them closed in. Lin Shui was absolutely terrified, trying to hide her face under her hat. Don't hide, gorgeous. Let us get a good look at you. Liang Meng reached out to grab Lin Shui's face, completely ignoring that I was even there. I swatted his hand away with a deadpan expression. Are you blind? Can't you see there's another guy standing right here? Liang Meng snatched his hand back in pain. Only then did they finally notice me. Even though I was pretty tall and had a solid build, the three of them didn't take me seriously at all. Zhang Peng noticed the blood on my clothes and frowned slightly. He sensed something was off, but kept his mouth shut. If they were capable of killing, naturally, others were too. Listen up, kid, I'm in a good mood today, so I don't feel like killing. Do yourself a favor and hand the chick over to us, and I'll spare your life. I just let out a sigh. I'm in a hurry, but if you really have a death wish, then don't blame me. With that, I lashed out with a lightning-fast kick. Crack, crack, crack. 3 distinct sounds of bones snapping echoed out. It took a full second before the intense agony hit Liang Meng and his buddies. All 3 dropped to their knees, clutching their groins, dripping with cold sweat from the excruciating pain. You little bastard, that was a cheap shot. Damn it, it hurts. Did they just get crushed? Lin Shui's eyes were basically sparkling with admiration. This guy really was incredible. I turned my head to look at her. Suddenly, I pulled a golden desert eagle out of my pocket and handed it to her. You finished them off. Lin Shui was completely stunned. Sure, for a guy like him, slaughtering millions might not be a big deal. But asking her to kill 3 living, breathing humans? Wasn't that asking a bit too much? Hurry up, if you want to be my maid, you need to have the guts to kill. I don't keep useless trash around. Saying that, I forcefully shoved the gun into her hands. The golden desert eagle felt slightly heavy in her grip, giving off a cold, metallic chill. Lin Shui instantly realized that this was no toy. It was the real deal. Keep the barrel pointed at them. Put your index finger right here on the trigger, I instructed her patiently. Lin Shui's face was full of reluctance, but after meeting my piercing gaze, she didn't dare say a word. When Liang Meng saw her pointing the gun at him, he assumed it was just a fake. He couldn't help but laugh. Who are you trying to scare with that? HMPH, I don't scare that easily. I'll remember this, you little punk. You better kill me if you've got the guts. Otherwise, I'll show you what I'm really capable of. Hearing that, the fear in Lin Shui's heart instantly vanished. What replaced it was a burning wave of anger. I leaned in and whispered in her ear, this guy is absolute scum. Shoot him. Lin Shui bit her lip so hard. It almost started to bleed, even though she was furious. The thought of actually taking a human life still made her hesitate. Ha 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 ha, come on, shoot me. You don't have the guts, do you? Don't worry, babe, I've got a gun for you right down here too. I'll let you play with it all you want later. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, Lin Shui snapped and pulled the trigger, the deafening sound echoing endlessly through the underground parking garage. Liang Meng was instantly blasted away. Zhang Peng and the other lackey were absolutely terrified. Ignoring the pain, they scrambled on their hands and knees, desperately trying to run for their lives. Lin Shui stared blankly at the lifeless body in front of her, her hands shaking uncontrollably. Then, she remembered that woman from room 401. She didn't have the power to fight back, and was brutally abused to death by a bunch of men. But this was the power she gave herself to fight back. I have to master this as soon as possible, or else my fate will probably be exactly like hers. Honestly though, Lin Shui's mindset shifted rapidly. She immediately chased after Zhang Peng, raised the gun, and fired. Since Zhang Peng was frantically crawling forward, the shot only hit him in the thigh, leaving him screaming in absolute agony. No, don't kill me, please. Alright, he's done for. I nodded in satisfaction, and took the gun back. After finally coming to her senses, Lin Shui slowly accepted the reality of what she had just done. She couldn't hold back the sickening nausea any longer, turning aside and vomiting violently. Meanwhile, I walked over to the last remaining lackey. "Boss, man, please, no, you're like a father to me. Please don't end me, I beg you. I can be your dog. From now on, I'll bite whoever you tell me to bite. Just spare my life, please." I just raised my hand and blasted him point blank. Then, I quietly waited for Lin Shui to finish throwing up. After a good while, with nothing left in her stomach, Lin Shui walked over to me, her eyes completely red. She wanted to say something, but didn't dare to speak. "Let's go, we're heading home." I continued walking towards Building 5. Lin Shui looked at the lifeless bodies on the ground, and the ones slashed down by Liang Meng yesterday. Slowly, a firm resolve built up in her heart. She told herself she absolutely had to survive. Who knows what those guys in Building 5 were doing right now? But they didn't run into me. The moment we stepped inside the door, Lin Shui was absolutely stunned. The dining table was loaded with a massive seafood feast and cold beers, and a pot of perfectly cooked rice was steaming hot. The place was spotless and tidy, smelling like a mix of cigarette smoke and a faint, sweet fragrance. But most importantly, it was so incredibly warm in here. When Shen Wanyue saw that I was back, she immediately came over to Bo. "Welcome home, master." Only then did Lin Shui get a good look at Shen Wanyu's face, instantly blown away by her breathtaking beauty. "She's so gorgeous. This is the new maid. Show her the ropes and teach her the rules. I don't like it when you girls mess up." I gave a short nod, then just sat myself down at the table and started eating. "Understood, master," Shen Wanyue softly replied. She then looked up at Lin Shui, and was equally hit with a wave of intense awe. What a stunning woman. Her figure and vibe are even better than mine. A sudden sense of threat washed over Shen Wanyue. She knew she had to take this chance to establish her dominance. "I can't let her steal all of master's affection. Come with me, I'll take you to the bathroom to get cleaned up first." After saying that, she dropped to her knees and crawled towards the bathroom. Lin Shui nodded blankly and followed along. But after barely taking 2 steps, Shen Wanyue stopped in her tracks, glaring back at her with a deeply hostile look. "Once you step through that door, you're master's maid." Maid rule number 1. Without the master's permission, you are not allowed to just stand there. Lin Shui jumped, startled by his harsh tone. She wanted to just slam the door and storm out, but then she remembered what had just happened. And the gun in my hand. So, she immediately started copying Shen Wanyue. I snacked on the mantis shrimp Shen Wanyue had peeled for me earlier, nodding in approval. "Looks like Maid Yu is making fast progress. You really live up to your status as a social elite. You've adapted to your new role beautifully. You definitely deserve a reward." In the bathroom, Shen Wanyu helped Lin Shui wash up. The 2 women didn't say a single word. "Sister, why is this? Don't ask questions you shouldn't ask. You need to show some respect and fear the master. Otherwise, you'll be dead before you even know what hit you." Lin Shui fell silent. She couldn't understand what on earth this woman had gone through to end up acting like this. Shen Wanyue stared at Lin Shui's figure, and the sense of threat in her heart flared up. Her scrubbing grew rougher and harder. "Sister, when do you think we'll finally get rescued?" "Never say that again. Meeting the master. That was our rescue. Don't you get it yet? Without a master, women like us. Do you have any idea what would happen to us?" Half an hour later, Lin Shui followed Shen Wanyue out of the bathroom. I had just finished eating. I grabbed an Australian lobster and tossed it in front of her. "Good job," Lin Shui watched with a hint of envy. To actually have hot lobster to eat right here in the bedroom. It was absolutely incredible. I shifted my gaze to her, and a slow smile crept across my face. Looking at her stats on my system panel, I couldn't help but nod in satisfaction. Looks like those online streamers aren't entirely just beauty filters and digital tricks after all. Meanwhile, the situation in Jiayuan Estate was growing completely out of control. Every single block had spawned its own building boss, forming vicious, mafia-like gangs. They ruled their buildings with an iron fist. The women there were reduced to nothing more than playthings. As the days dragged on, many simply couldn't take the abuse anymore and threw themselves off the balconies. They left huge, human-shaped craters in the deep snow below. But that wasn't even the worst part. Because the snow was so thick, it acted like a giant cushion. Jumping didn't kill them on impact. Most of them ended up buried deep inside the freezing drifts. They either suffocated alive, or just lay there helplessly, waiting for the toxic infection to claim their lives. Their screams and agonizing wails echoed endlessly, shredding everyone's nerves day and night. Over in Building 5, Zhu Feng called about a dozen of his guys into his apartment to start dividing up their loot. Boys, we hauled in a massive score today. We busted down 23 doors in total, scored 10 packs of noodles and 3 massive jugs of water, got 2 cartons of premium smokes and 14 packs of instant noodles too. That's plenty to keep the boys happy for a while. Lock it all up tight, and on top of the grub, we bagged over 20 prime, fresh laborers. For our next move, we stick to the plan.